Hello, this is Vaibhav Chengidia from Dr. Ved Prakash Patil Pharmacy College. Today, today we have to learn about the prokaryotic cell, its structures and functions. So here there are two basic types of cells are there. First one that is called as the prokaryotic cells, and second one that is called as eukaryotic cell. Main difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell is that prokaryotic cell are lack a true nucleus and eukaryotic cells are having a true nucleus. That is the first basic differential point in between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Second thing, in case of prokaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is absent. In case of eukaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is present. In case of prokaryotic cells, ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cell. In case of eukaryotic cell, also ribosomes are present. Then next difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell is that mitochondria and chloroplast, these two organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell, but they are present in eukaryotic cells. Next, why it is called as a prokaryotic cell? So pro stands for a lack of thing, and karyotic means nucleus. Means meaning of prokaryotic is that the lack of nucleus. And in case of eukaryotic cell, U stand for a presence and karot means nucleus, means presence of a true nucleus in case of eukaryotic cell. Next, if you see the structures of the prokaryotic cell here and eukaryotic cell. So in the structure of prokaryotic cell, organelles which are present in the prokaryotic cells are capsule, cell wall, plasma membrane, cytoplasm, ribosome, plasmids, pili, bacterial flagellum, and nucleoid. Nucleoid means it is a circular DNA. So if you see all the part which are present in the prokaryotic cell, so just we have to see what is the role of each and every part in case of prokaryotic cell. So suppose first part in the prokaryotic cell, that is called as a capsules. So here capsule actually it is a viscous in nature and it is outermost covering. It is a outermost covering of a prokaryotic cell. It is a present outside the cell membrane, that is called as a capsule. It is a viscous in nature and watery type fluids are present in the capsule. Capsule is giving a protection to the cell membrane, that is the most important role, and also it maintain the cell in the moist condition. It will help to retain the water in the bacterial cell. Second part of the prokaryotic cell, that is called as the cell wall. So cell wall is the most important part in the prokaryotic cells. In case of also eukaryotic cell wall is the most important. So cell wall, it will give mechanical strength and rigidity to the prokaryotic cells. It will give mechanical strength and rigidity. Second thing, also it will help to maintain the integrity of the prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell, it will remain stable in the aqueous environment of a cell due to the presence of cell wall. Cell wall having a certain components, chemical components are present in the cell wall. So first important component which is present in the cell wall is the peptidoglycan. And apart from peptidoglycan, some lipids, proteins are also present. So if you see the peptidoglycan means what? Peptidoglycan. So actually it is a one lipopolysaccharide in nature, mucopolysaccharide or lipopolysaccharides in nature, and it is made up of some amino acid and sugars. In case of peptidoglycan, it having a two sugar component, N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acids. N-acetyl muramic acid and N-acetyl nuramic acids, NAMA NAMA and NANA NANA. So these are the two sugar portion, N-acetyl muramic acids and N-acetyl nuramic acids. Apart from these two sugar components, some amino acids are also present in the structures of peptidoglycans. So in case of these peptidoglycan, these amino acids are D-glycine, D-alanine, D-glutamic acids and DL-mesdiamino or pymalic acids. These two amino acids are present. These four amino acids are present in case of peptidoglycan. So total it consists of 6 component, 2 sugar component and these 4 amino acids. These are the main components of the peptidoglycan. Second thing is the backbones of peptidoglycan, it having the phosphodiester linkage. So due to the presence of this phosphodiester linkage in the backbone of the peptidoglycan, it will remain stable and it will give integrity and rigidity to the cell wall. And also these amino acids, they will join to one another with the help of the peptide bond. Means peptide bond and phosphodiester bond, these are the two covalent bond which are present in the peptidoglycan, and apart from this covalent bond, some non-covalent bond are also there. Cell wall is such a most important component. After the cell wall, just below the cell wall, plasma membranes is there, or it is also called as a cell membrane. The role of the plasma membrane or cell membrane is that it will allow the passage of molecules from outside to inside of cell and inside to outside of the cells. So most important function of the plasma membrane is the permeability. This membrane is semi-permeable in nature, means it will allow the passage of only one molecules at a time. Next, those molecules which are having high molecular weight or large in size, they will face a difficulty in the passage because the pore size of these plasma membranes are small. So those molecules which are small in size, they are able to pass through the plasma membrane. Second most important criteria for the passing, those molecules which are lipophilic in nature, they will easily cross this plasma membrane, and those molecules which are hydrophilic, they face difficulty in crossing the plasma membrane barrier, because if you see the compositions of the plasma membrane, it contain mainly the two chemical component, one that is called as a lipid and second one that is called as a protein. So a sandwich like arrangement is there, a two layer of protein, and in between this two layer of the protein, lipid layer is present. So the sandwich like arrangement is there. Second thing here, these two type of the proteins are present in case of plasma membrane. One that is called as the integral protein, or it is also called as the intracranic protein, and second one that is called as a peripheral protein, or it is called as a extracranic protein. Peripheral protein are loosely attached to this membrane. It can be easily removed, but integral protein which are embedded in the plasma membrane or cell membrane, so it is difficult to remove. So these two proteins are present, integral protein and peripheral protein, and one lipid layer is also there. So there are these two main components of the plasma membrane, lipid and protein. Those molecules which are hydrophilic in nature, they will face difficulty to cross this barrier. Then this plasma membrane also, it will give protection to the internal components of the cells. So these are the main roles of the plasma membranes. Then next is cytoplasm. So it is the fluid like matrix of the cells, and the largest portion of the cell is the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm is made up of water, main component is water, and some others, salt, organic salt, inorganic salts, metal ions are also present. It is a viscous in nature, and it is a some semi fluid or semi solid like consistency is there of cytoplasm, and all the organelles of the prokaryotic cell are remain dispersed in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is also act as a center of many biochemical reactions which are takes place in the cell. Next component is ribosome. So ribosome is considered as the factory of protein synthesis. It is a main component which are required for the protein synthesis, that is the ribosome. Their appearance is granular in appearance, circular in natures, circular in shape, and it is some type rough structure is there, and it act as a site of protein synthesis. There are two type of the ribosomal subunits are there. One that is called as a 70S and another one that is called as a 80S. These are the two large ribosomal units are there, and this 70S and 80S unit, again they are made up of some small subunit. 70S is made up of 50S plus 30S. These are the two small subunit of the 70S, and 80S ribosomal unit is made up of 60S plus 40S. These are the two small ribosomal subunit of this 80S. Next components of these prokaryotic cells are pili. Pili are hair-like appendages which are present outside the cell on the outer surface of the cell. Pili, they are the hair-like appendages which play a role which help the cell in movement to some extent, and also through the pili genetic material are exchanged in between the cells. So a main role of the pili is that it will help in movement of the cell, and second role of is that it is a narrow tube like structure, pili, through which genetic material, that is DNA or RNA, it will exchange in between two cells. Next component of the prokaryotic cell are flagellum, bacterial flagellum. So flagella is also same as that of the pili. Their function is same almost as that of the pili. It will also help in the locomotions of the bacterial cell. And flagella, it is a plural, and singular is flagellum. It, if you see the structure of flagella, of flagellum, it having a three parts: head, body and base. Head, body and base or stalk. These are the three parts of the flagellum which help in the locomotions of the prokaryotic cells. Next one, it is called as a nucleoid. So these are all the components of the prokaryotic cell. In case of eukaryotic cell, main component is a nucleus. Nucleus is present in the center of a cell. In the nucleus, DNA are present. There is transcriptions are occur in the nucleus. DNA are present in the nucleus. So DNA are converted into the RNA, that is called as a transcription. It will takes place in the nucleus, and that nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear membranes. Again, there are two type of the nuclear membrane. One is inner nuclear membrane, and second one that is called as the outer nuclear membrane. Then nucleus also contain one fluid within the nucleus. So that fluid is called as the nucleoplasms. And in the nucleoplasm, this transcription will takes place. That is the conversion of DNA into the RNA. Means nucleoplasm is the fluid like matrix of the nucleus, and nucleus is also surrounded by the nuclear membrane, double layer nuclear membrane, inner and outer. And within that nuclear membrane, nuclear pores are also present, and through this pore, that DNA or RNA, it will come out through the nucleus. Second thing, this transcription takes place in the nucleus. Then this RNA are produced within the nucleus. Then RNA, it will come out and it will enter into the cytoplasm, and then in the cytoplasm, RNA are converted into the protein. That is called as a translation reaction. So this is a main component of the eukaryotic cell, that is called as the nucleus. Apart from the nucleus, this plasma membrane are also present, ribosomes are also present, mitochondria is one component which are present in case of eukaryotic cell. Mitochondria, which is considered as the powerhouse of a cell, that is called as the mitochondria. It will generate the ATP producers. It will help to produce the energy in the form of ATP, mitochondria. Then peroxisomes is there, cytoskeleton, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus is also present. Then centrioles, these are the small vesicles like structure. Centrioles are also present in the eukaryotic cells. Then endoplasmic reticulum is also there. Endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria and chloroplast. These organelles are absent in the prokaryotic cell, but they are present in the eukaryotic cells. Then this endoplasmic reticulum, again it is of two types, rough and smooth, ACR and RER. Rough endoplasmic reticulum means that they are having a rough appearance. And smooth endoplasmic reticulum means what? That they lack the ribosome and they are having a smooth appearance. Cytoplasm is also present. Some secretory vesicles, these are the vesicle like structure which store some salt, inorganic salt, organic salt and metal ions are present in the secretory vesicle, and it will conduct some types of biochemical reactions. So these are all the components of prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cell. Next thing is that this prokaryotic cell, it will undergo multiplications by the binary fissions. Is a one mechanism by which prokaryotic cell, it will undergo multiplication or reproduction by binary fission. So binary fission means one cell, it will divided into two equal parts. Then this two equal part, again it will divide it into the 4 cell, then 4 it will going to multiply into the 8 like this. It is called as a linear multiplication will occur. So prokaryotic cell, it will undergo reproduction by binary fission mechanism. So here this chromosome is there, it will undergo replication, then it will segregation and cytokinesis. Means here by the way of cytokinesis, this prokaryotic cell, it will divided in a two equal segment or two equal portion by the cytokinesis mechanisms. Here if you see the genetics of the prokaryotic cells, the prokaryotic cells are having a nucleoid. A nucleoid means is a region of cytoplasm where prokaryote genome is located, and actually it is a singular circular chromosome. Nucleoid is the singular circular chromosome is there. Then most important is there again plasmid, which is present in the prokaryotic cell. It is a small extra chromosomal fractions of the chromosome. Small extra chromosomal piece is present. Then it is made up of 5 to 100 genes. Then also main role of the plasmid, it will provide the genetic information. It will going to be act as a carriers of genetic information to promote antibiotic resistance in the prokaryotic cell. Then also it will going to be act as a virulence factors, means some molecule which are produced by the pathogen that specifically influence the host function to allow the pathogen to thrive. And also plasmid, it will help in promoting the conjugation. Conjugation means it is one of the transfer mechanism of genetic materials from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell or one prokaryotic cell to another prokaryotic cell. So there are three mechanisms by which genetic exchange are occur in the prokaryotic cell. There is a transformation, transduction, and another one is the conjugation. So through this conjugation, there is a transfer of genetic material between the bacteria through the cell to cell contact, or through the physical contact. This genetic material, it will transfer from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell. In case of prokaryote, cytoplasm is also known as a protoplasm. It is a gel-like matrix which is having a water main component or main portion of cytoplasm is made up of water. Enzymes are present. Most of the enzymes which are required for the biochemical reactions within the prokaryotic cell are present in the cytoplasm. Some nutrients, waste also accumulated in the cytoplasm. So whatever waste material or product which are produced as a result of biochemical reactions, it will going to be accumulated in the cytoplasm. Some gases are also accumulated. Then it will also location of a growth, metabolism and replication. Means this metabolic reaction, all the metabolic reactions of the prokaryotic cell, it will occur in the cytoplasm and also replication. Next is granules are also there. Okay, so this granule is a way of storing nutrient. So in that granule, so bacteria, it will store the nutrient, and staining of some granule, it will also help in the identifications of the cell, either it is gram positive or gram negative. The cytoskeleton are also there. Cytoskeleton, actually it is a cellular scaffolding or skeleton within the cytoplasm. It is a major advance in the prokaryotic cell biology in the last decade. It will lead the discovery of the prokaryotic cytoskeleton. Until recently, it be the future only of eukaryotic cells. Then ribosomes is also another component of the prokaryotic cell, which is found within the cytoplasm, or it is attached to the plasma membrane. It is made up of protein and RNA. These ribosomes are made up of two components, one that is called as a protein and second one are RNA, that is a ribosomal RNA, and it is composed of two subunits, that is called as a 70S and 80S, and again this 70S and 80S, again it is made up of two smaller subunits. Thousands of ribosomes are present in the cells. Their appearance is a rough, they are present in the bundle or bunch like structure is there in case of the prokaryotic cell as well as in eukaryotic cell. Then plasma membrane is also there in the prokaryotic cell, is a main part. It will separate the cell from its environment. That is the role of the plasma membrane or cell membrane. It will separate the cell from its environment. Phospholipid is there, lipid is there, that I told, lipid is there. In that lipid, phospholipid mostly present in the cell membrane. Here the hydrophilic regions of the phospholipid, it is called as a water loving head, are directed outward, and hydrophobic region of the phospholipid molecule, that is called as a water hating tail, it is directed inward. And also protein are embedded in the two layer of the lipid, that's called lipid bilayer is present. In between these two lipid layer, a layer of protein is also present, that is a sandwich like arrangement is there. Then plasma membrane also act as a barrier actually for the transfer of molecule from inside to outside of the cell and outside to inside of the cell. So here molecule, they will move from inside to outside or outside to inside by the mechanisms of the osmosis. Here it is a diffusion of water across the semipermeable membrane. Environment surrounding the cell, it contain some amounts of dissolved substance are there. So here this amount, it may be equal to, less than or greater than those found within the cell, that is called as a hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution and isotonic. Isotonic solution means the concentration on the both side of the cell membrane if equal, there is no movement or transfer of water. Then hypotonic and hypertonic. Next here tonicity and osmosis. So isotonic means equal concentration of solute inside and outside of the cell. On the both side of the cell, that is inside and outside, the concentration of the solutes are equal. Then hypertonic means it is a higher concentration of solute, and hypotonic means a lower concentrations of the solute. So these three conditions are present. Then osmotic pressure is also created. It's water is the important reactant in the many metabolic reaction. Most cells are die. If the water is absent, most of the cells are going to be die. Then cell walls of the bacteria and plant, also it will prevent them. The cell wall is a very rough, tough structure. It is a rigid structure of the cell. So it will prevent the rupturing or exploding of the bacterial cell in the hypotonic environment. But most bacteria, they are vulnerable in the hypertonic environment. Many bacteria, it can be plasmolysed by the high concentration of the solute. Then water moves also out of bacterium and it dies of hyperosmotic shock, that is called as a desiccation. Due to the desiccation or lack of the water, the bacterial cell it also died. Then in the plasma membrane, some transport mechanisms are operative. So first one is called as active transports. So active transport, here the housemost molecule, they move across the plasma membrane. It is analogous to pump moving water upfield, and here it is a ATP driven active transport here. So energy is required for the transport of molecule. So this energy are provided by the ATP. Okay, so this due to the energy from the ATP, this substance or molecule, they will move across the plasma membrane with the help of carrier molecule. Then also cell wall is also important component of the prokaryotic cell. So due to the difference in the compositions of the cell wall, a prokaryotic cell are divided in a two type, gram positive and gram negative. So this difference, there is a gram positive and gram negative, it is identified due to difference in the compositions of the cell wall. In case of gram positive bacteria, higher concentration of peptidoglycan is present and lipid are present in less concentration, and in case of gram negative bacteria, lipid are present in highest concentration and peptidoglycans are present in the lower concentration. So due to this such a chemical difference in between the cell wall of this gram positive and gram negative bacteria, so they will show a different color or behavior in the staining reactions. So if you performing the gram staining, it is a one type of differential staining. Gram positive bacteria, they will show a violet color, and gram negative bacteria, they will show pink or red color. So it is due to the difference in the chemical compositions of the cell wall. Bacterial cell wall is having a peptidoglycan is the huge polymer of interlocking chain of the alternating monomer. It provides a rigid support to the cell wall and which is freely permeable to the solute. It is also considered as the backbone of the peptidoglycan molecule. Is composed of the two amino sugar derivative that is called as a N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acids. N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid, these are the two glycan part of the peptidoglycan and it is a backbone of the peptidoglycan, and these N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid are connected by the peptide bridges, peptide part of the peptidoglycan. Then if you see the difference in between gram positive and gram negative bacteria, if you see the difference in the structure, okay, this is the diagrams of the gram positive and gram negative bacteria, gram positive cell wall and gram negative cell wall. So easily we can see here a difference. In case of gram positive cell wall, peptidoglycan is present in higher concentration. In case of gram negative cell wall, this peptidoglycan are present in less concentration. Then second difference is that if you see the structure of this gram positive and gram negative cell, the lipid are present in less concentration, that is a phospholipid are present in the less concentration in case of gram positive bacteria, but these phospholipid are present in higher concentrations in case of gram negative bacteria. So due to such a chemical difference, it will show the different behavior under the staining process. Here again the same thing. This is the structure of gram negative bacterial cell wall is there. So easily we can see the highest concentration of the lipoprotein or lipid in case of gram negative bacterial cell wall. The bacterial plasma membrane and cell wall together are also called as a cell envelope. Okay, so if you are combining these two part, that is the plasma membrane and cell wall, so together these two part, that is the plasma membrane and cell wall, it is called as a cell envelope. Then another one part or components of the prokaryote is the glycocalyx. Some bacteria are having an additional layer outside the cell wall, that is called as a glycocalyx. So it is not present in all bacteria, but some kinds of bacteria, they are having this additional layer. So this additional layer can come in one of two forms. There is the first one that is called the slime layer. These glycocalyx are present in the form of slime layer. So slime layer, that is the glycoprotein, are loosely associated with the cell wall. In case of slime layer, this glycoprotein are loosely associated with the cell wall, and this slime layer cause bacteria to adhere to the solid surface and it help to prevent the cell from drying out. So due to the presence of slime layer, it will prevent the drying of the bacterial cells and it will also help to remain attached to the solid surface. Example is the Streptococcus species is there. The slime layer of the gram positive Streptococcus mutans allow it to accumulate on the tooth enamel. So on the tooth enamel, the Streptococcus mutans bacteria, it is a gram positive bacteria, it will going to be accumulated. So due to the presence of slime layer, and it will cause cavities. Other bacteria in the mouth become trapped in the slime and it will form the biofilm and eventually a buildup of plaque. So this is a common example of this slime layer bacteria. There is a Streptococcus mutans species are there. Also another one layer is capsules. So these are the both glycocalyx in nature actually. a slime layer and capsule. Capsule is a polysaccharide which is firmly attached to the cell wall. Capsule, it will also help the prokaryotic cell or bacteria to adhere to the solid surface and nutrient in the environment. Capsule also protect the bacteria from phagocytosis, is a one mechanism by which it will undergo engulfment by the cell. So capsule also, it will prevent the phagocytosis by the cell of the host immunosystems. Most important role of the capsule. Then endospore are also present. So these are the dormant, tough, non-reproductive structure which is produced by the small numbers of bacteria. It will give a resistance to the radiation, desiccation, lysozyme, temperature, starvation and chemical disinfectant. And mostly these endospore are commonly found in the soil, water, where they may survive for the very long period of times. So this is structures of the endospore you can see here in the slide. So endospore stain bacterial smear of Bacillus subtilis endospores are there, which are stained green. Endospore, it will show the green color, and vegetative cell are red in color upon the staining. And some surface appendages are also present on the prokaryotic cell, restricting appendages that may allow them to move about adhere to solid surface. It will consist of delicate strands of protein that is called as a flagella are there. It is a long thin extension that allows some bacteria to move about freely in aqueous environment. Singular, it is a flagellum, plural is a flagella. Then some endoflagella is also there, that is called the axial filament. Also it will causing the movement in the waves. Then fimbriae is also there. Most gram negative bacteria are having this part fimbriae. It is a short fine appendages surrounding the cell. Gram positive bacteria are not having this fimbriae part. The fimbriae is having a no role in the motility. It will help the bacteria to adhere to the solid surface. It is a major factor which play a role in virulence. Then also pili is there, which are very narrow tube-like structure, longer than the fimbriae and usually shorter than the flagella. They help in the movement of the cell like grappling hooks, and also it will help in conjugation, means the transfer of genetic material from one cell to another cells. Then cell shapes are there. Prokaryotic cell, most bacteria are classified according to the shape. So on the basis of different shape, these bacteria are classified. Bacilli is bacillus, actually is a rod shape. Coccus, it is a sound like spherical shape, spiral shape. So these are the different types of bacteria according to their shape. Bacillus, coccus, spiral, spiralum, spirochete. Then there are many more shapes behind this basic one also. Some cocobacilli means elongated cocal form. Filamentous, some bacilli are filamentous that occur in the long thread. Then vibrio shape, short, slightly curved, and fusiform shape also there. Then arrangement, how these cells are arranged. There is an arrangement pattern of the cell. So bacteria sometimes occur in a groups rather than single. Then these bacilli divide along the single axis in a pairs or chain, and cocci divide on one or more plane and producing the cell in pairs. I mean, it is called as a diplococci. If pairs they are present in the pairs, it is called as a diplococci. If they are present in the chain, that is called as streptococci. If they are present in the packets, it is called as a Sarcini-like arrangement, like this. Size, shape and arrangement of the cell are often first clues in the identification of bacteria. So if you have to identify which type of bacteria is there, so on the basis of size, shape and arrangement of the cell, we can identify which type of bacterium is there. So this is just a diagrams of the different shapes of the bacteria which are present in the cell. Thank you.